Depraved monsters. Who are the 5 men deported by U.S. President Trump to African nation Eswatini? The arrival of 5 deportees from the United States to Eswatini has sparked public outrage and concern across Africa, with critics accusing the U.S. of using the small nation as a dumping ground. The Eswatini government confirmed that 5 foreign nationals deported from the U.S. are being held in solitary confinement in undisclosed prisons. Acting government spokesperson Deported Mbliali said on Friday that the men pose no threat to the country or its citizens and that critical engagements between stakeholders are still ongoing. The deportation is the result of months of robust high-level engagements between Eswatini and the U.S., Mbliali said. However, she did not specify how long the individuals would remain in the country or when they would be repatriated, noting that there are no timelines at present. Nan and the 5 men are nationals of Jamaica, Laos, Cuba, Yemen, and Vietnam, and were convicted of serious crimes including child rape, murder, and robbery. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin described them as depraved monsters whose home countries refused to take them back. In a series of posts of X, she wrote about THEM1 Vietnamese national convicted of child rape sentenced to 20 years confinement. 2 Citizen of Jamaica convicted of murder sentenced to 25 years confinement. Convicted of robbery sentenced to 6 years confinement. Convicted of possession of weapon sentenced to 6 months confinement. 3 Citizen of Laos convicted of second-degree murder and burglary forced entry sentenced to 20 years confinement. Convicted of operating a motor vehicle under influence of controlled substance charged with aggravated assault with deadly weapon and possession of methamphetamine. 4 Citizen of Cuba convicted of first-degree murder and aggravated battery. Convicted of aggravated battery of a police officer, grand theft vehicle, aggravated flight eluding law enforcement, reckless driving sentenced to 3 years confinement. Confirmed Latin King Street gang member. 5 Citizen of Yemen convicted of second-degree homicide. Convicted of assault and battery. Convicted of resist and obstruct officer sentenced to 17 days confinement. Convicted of cruelty to dependent adult. Convicted of assault with the intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation sentenced to 60 months confinement. New a safe third country deportation flight to Eswatini in southern Africa has landed. This flight took individuals so uniquely barbaric that their home countries refused to take them back. These depraved monsters have been terrorizing American communities, but thanks to POTUSPIC.twitter.com Sanix8H4T Tricia McLaughlin, Tricia, Ohio, July 16, 2025. Nan Eswatini is a small, landlocked country in southern Africa, bordered by South Africa on 3 sides and Mozambique to the northeast. Formerly known as Swaziland, it changed its name to Eswatini in 2018. Despite its small size, it has 2 capitals, Mbabane administrative and Lobamba royal and legislative. It lies near the southeastern coast of Africa but has no coastline itself. Eswatini, with a population of about 1.23 million 2023, is classified by the World Bank as a lower middle-income country, but it faces widespread poverty, high unemployment, and deep inequality. Over 58% of its population lives below the national poverty line, and about 36% live on less than 2.15 per day PPP. Youth unemployment exceeds 48%, and the country has a high Gini index 0.55, indicating major income inequality. It has one of the world's highest HIV/AIDS prevalence rates. In April, the country was included in a list of U.S. tariffs announced by President Donald Trump, with Eswatini exports facing a 10% rate starting August 1. On June 23, 2025, the U.S. Supreme Court lifted a lower court injunction that had previously blocked the government from deporting non-citizens to countries other than their own unless those destinations were explicitly listed on removal orders. This effectively allowed the Trump administration to resume so-called third country deportations without offering deportees a chance to raise Convention Against Torture protections, meaning the government could send people to countries where they had no prior ties. Nan PUDEMO, an opposition party, warned that accepting foreign deportees poses a serious risk to our already vulnerable communities that are battling high crime rates. The Swaziland Solidarity Network also criticized the move as an example of clear racism and said Swazi prisons are already overcrowded. Nan while Eswatini's government hasn't publicly confirmed the exact locations, Local media has cited the Matsafa Correctional Complex, the country's main maximum security prison near Mbabane, as where the deportees were initially placed. Mbalali said Eswatini is working with the U.S. and the International Organization for Migration (IOM) to facilitate the eventual transit of the deportees to their countries of origin, although the terms of the agreement remain classified. This is part of the Trump administration's broader effort to negotiate deportations with third-party countries such as South Sudan, Libya, Rwanda, Benin, Mongolia, and others, especially in cases where deportees' home nations refuse to accept them. Critics say some of these partner countries have poor human rights records, raising ethical and legal questions. Swipe left for next video. Observers have speculated that Eswatini agreed to the deal in exchange for political or economic incentives, given U.S. cuts in foreign aid and initiatives to influence governance in smaller countries. With agency, ANI, CNN Input's latest blogs.